So many people think that you're actually building muscle when you're in the gym, but the only time you're going to be building muscle is when you're asleep. And if you're not doing everything you can to make sure you have the most optimal sleep possible, you're not going to be able to recover properly, and you're mitigating the gains that you potentially could be gaining. So that's why today I'm going to be going through the ways to ensure you get the best night's sleep possible so you can recover faster, recover better, and ensure that you're actually building muscle and keeping your testosterone levels through the roof. In this video, we're going to be going through the before sleep, during sleep, and after sleep. Starting with the foundations of before going to sleep. Number 1. Avoid doom scrolling. If you're trying to relax and get some quality sleep, the last thing you need is blue light blaring at your face, getting stimulus every 3 seconds, scrolling through absolute slop. Blue light absolutely kills melatonin and raises your cortisol levels before sleep. Another important one is avoiding alcohol and caffeine. If you're drinking monsters before bed, you're obviously not going to get to sleep. I don't need to explain that one, but alcohol is a massive one. It fragments deep sleep and prevents you from getting into REM sleep, which is where you're actually able to recover while you're sleeping. So even if you just drink yourself to sleep and pass out, you're not really getting into the state of mind to be getting the correct recovery. Another foundation is eating late or binge eating before sleep. When you're eating large volumes of food before sleep, your body needs to obviously digest this food, which takes time and energy, and it's going to raise your internal body temperature, and this in turn is going to block you from getting that deep sleep you need to recover properly. So if you're going to eat anything, try and keep it 2 to 3 hours before actually falling asleep. And the last foundation one for before sleep is making sure you've got a proper sleep routine. You've got to lock in that circadian rhythm. If you're going to sleep waking up the same time every day, it's going to be like clockwork. It's going to be easy. You're going to know when it's time for lights out and it's time for lights up. You're just going to make life so much easier for yourself. You're going to reduce the cortisol, the stress, and just keep yourself on track. So if you're trying to optimize your sleep, this foundation layer is pretty much a non-negotiable. By doing this, it's going to be ensuring you get the best sleep possible. Next, we've got the middle layer. So there's going to be things that are going to help you but aren't as essential as those foundation ones. So next, we've got taking things like magnesium and zinc. Magnesium glycate is one of the most studied sleep supplements out there. This is going to lower your cortisol levels and activate GABA, which is going to help you relax and calm down. Zinc, of course, also supports testosterone and sleep quality. So if you're deficient in either of these, this could be the fix that makes a massive difference for your sleep. Next is going to be doing some breathing work like box breathing. So if you don't know what box breathing is, it's basically 4 seconds in, hold for 4 seconds, 4 seconds out. It's going to help de-stress, lower the cortisol, relax, get calm, breathe, get rid of that anxiety, the stress of the day. This is going to drop your heart rate and it completely calms the nervous system so you're ready for a nice deep sleep. And at the top of the pyramid, we've got journaling. So this could be writing about your day, writing about what you're going to do tomorrow. This isn't as vital as the rest of the stuff, but I find, especially if I'm stressed or I've got things in my mind, if I just write that stuff down, that's why I've got these 2 whiteboards here. Like I can just jot down what I need to do tomorrow or an idea I've had and just throw it all on the wall, and then it's out my head and I can just relax and go to sleep. I find doing this is really good for just mentally decluttering and just going, whoa, just getting it out the way, and it's still there, but it's not in here. We're now moving on to during sleep. So number 1, the most important thing is making sure you've got a cold room. You're obviously not going to get a quality night's sleep if you're in some sweaty, damp room. And for your body to actually enter deep sleep, it needs to be 1 degree under its normal temperature. Number 2 is making sure you're in pitch black. Even a tiny little LED light flickering on from your computer is going to reduce your melatonin. You've got a pitch black room, you're going to get deep sleep and longer REM. Number 3, another super important one, is making sure you've got breathable bedding. So you want nice, clean cotton bed sheets that aren't going to trap heat, unlike polyester where basically you're just going to cook yourself under the sheets. You want nice natural fabrics that aren't going to disrupt your sleep. Number 4, obviously noise control. If your phone's blasting brain rot and the dog's barking downstairs, you're not going to get the sleep you need. And every time you wake up in the middle of the night, it's going to absolutely kill that deep sleep that you need for recovery. So I suggest getting some earbuds, listen to some white noise, make sure the curtains are blacked out. You just want the best environment so you can just relax and not have any outside distractions. Another one that's super important is sleeping naked. While I don't suggest doing this at a sleepover, you don't want to be wearing any polyesters that are going to trap heat, or if you're wearing boxers, the elastic around the waist, that's just going to stop blood flow. If you're wearing socks all day and then going to sleep with socks on, which if you do, you're a bit weird, you're basically preventing proper blood flow from your legs and feet. Sleep naked, make sure your blood can flow properly and that you're not going to overheat while you're asleep. Another super important one is making sure you've got a comfortable, firm mattress. If your spine isn't properly aligned while you're asleep, you're going to get a sore back, hip, legs. You're going to be tossing and turning and just disrupting the REM sleep completely. You might even be half waking up and not even remembering it, but that is going to be a massive disruptor to the REM sleep. Same goes with your pillow. If you've not got something that's going to support your head and neck while you're asleep, you're going to be waking up with a sore back, sore neck, fractured sleep, you're just going to be a mess. And finally, making sure you've got proper air quality is super important. If you're in a poorly ventilated room, this can cause carbon dioxide buildup. And if your brain isn't able to get the right amount of oxygen while you're asleep, it's going to leave you feeling groggy, you're going to have poor quality sleep, not going to be too good for you. You probably would have experienced this one the most if you've went away or stayed in a hotel before and you've left the aircon running. If that aircon is pumping through low quality air, you normally wake up with a sore throat, a cough, and you just feel groggy and awful. So make sure you leave a window cracked open, or if you've got an air purifier, make sure that's blasting, and just make sure the room has the best quality of air to ensure the best quality of sleep. Number one, super important, waking up at the same time every day. Your circadian rhythm is like an internal clock. So if you're waking up at the same time every day, going to sleep at the same time every day, your body knows when to release melatonin, when to release cortisol, and it's just going to keep the rhythm flowing nicely. Number two, this one is massively overlooked, but it's super important, and that is morning sunlight. This is the number one way to reset your circadian rhythm. This lets your body know it's time to wake up, and it triggers that healthy cortisol spike, which tells the clock 16 hours and then we're back to sleep again. Number three, super important, making sure as soon as you're waking up, you're moving around. Go for a little walk, be outside, ground yourself. Just being outside and getting fresh air, getting the sun hitting your face. This is going to do wonders for your morning ritual and just make you feel good, ready to go. Number four is hydration. Before going to sleep, don't slam liters of water, because you're obviously going to wake up in the middle of the night and either piss the bed or go for a piss. Again, fragmented sleep, not going to do good. But as soon as you wake up, you need to hydrate as much as possible. For the middle tier, waking up and having a high protein breakfast, this is going to stabilize your blood sugars and be a nice slow digestive food to start the day. If you're waking up from a rough night's sleep and then you're just slamming a bowl of Crave or Fruity Pebbles, your cortisol and insulin levels are going to be through the roof, and that's only going to lead to a crash later on in the day. Another great one is no coffee or stimulants after midday. Just make sure the cut-off time for any caffeine is around midday. Leave it around 8 to 10 hours before going to sleep. I probably don't need to explain why this is, but if you're on your 5th Starbucks by around 3 p.m, you're not going to get the best quality sleep. And finally, at the top is trying to mitigate nap. If you're watching this video, you're not a baby, you don't need to have a little nap through the day. If you're getting proper sleep at night time, you shouldn't need a nap. And this is going to affect your sleep later on massively. But if you do need a nap for whatever reason, try and keep it to around 20-30 minutes. No more than that, because that's going to just take away from that nighttime sleep. And finally, the last thing on the list is having a nice evening wind down. So around an hour and a half to 2 hours before you go to sleep, just keeping all activity nice and light. This is going to lower your cortisol levels before you go into sleep. It's going to keep you nice and relaxed, and make sure you're getting the best quality night's sleep. If right before bed you're in front of screens, you're playing video games, you're stressing out because you're like the last 4 people in Fortnite and you're about to get the W, this is going to increase your heart rate, your cortisol levels, and you're not going to be in that nice relaxed state ready for sleep. And that concludes today's list. If you follow everything I've went through today, you're going to have the best night's sleep possible. You're going to wake up feeling refreshed, recovered, your testosterone levels are going to be nice and high, and you're going to be optimizing your life to ensure that you're getting those gains in the gym. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.